okay, Brother Ron?
Oh yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on. There we go.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Welcome to PoFolk Community for Justice. I'm Apostle Cecil Hatchett, and today I was supposed to have Brother Bruce Broussard here today, and we were going to have the mayor come and be on our show today. At least the invitation was extended to the mayor to talk about over $400 million about monies that should be spent in District 18. And I thought Broussard would speak together with me regarding this, but he hasn't shown up to yet, nor has the mayor shown up, and so the invitation is still extended to the mayor, and he's never showed up. And many mayors that I've invited to the show to talk about very basic things to me and to people out there in cyberspace, but but they just take it as if it's just too serious, or they just don't want to be involved with people, Negro, colored, Black, African Americans, that's trying to get things accomplished, or for the good of all people. And so that's what I'm all about. And these invitations haven't been fulfilled, and that's how that goes. So I just, without any further ado, I'm just going to speak on Donald Trump. He's made all these obligations that he's made before he became president, and he's done nothing to really honor the things he did. He tried to get the Obamacare flipped, and then he tried to any monies that could have helped to refine it or make Obamacare better and that would benefit the people. He just did turn his back on that project and whined and complained and complained and whined. And all the jobs, all you people out there had been promised that Trump said he was gonna get for everybody. None of that stuff materialized. So these are kind of issues that many people are faced with and that have complaints about or concerns about, and those things have never been addressed or handled for the good of all people. So it's just very important that you people understand that you're trying to roll with Trump and the people that are retirement age and about to lose their Medicaid and Medicare because all the promises that Donald Trump made or President Trump made, those things aren't gonna. All these people are supposed to be getting a lot of good money or making it cheaper and less expensive to have Medicare or health care. All that stuff is gone down around the wayside. He's always trying to point the finger at Obama, trying to make it look like it's his fault. He's done his 8 years being the president, and so again, crap runs downhill, and that's kind of things that flows out of Donald Trump's mouth is a bunch of crap, and that's what we're getting, and so he's probably good at making trouble, starting wars, or jumping on other countries, and wanting to get credit for that because he's all about spending the money, putting lives in harm's way, and building walls, or saying he's going to build walls and doing whatever's clever. So I just want you people out there in cyberspace to know that, look, I'm on YouTube, and if you ever want to come on PoFolk Community for Justice and talk about serious issues, you're welcome to do so. And that's what my concerns always are and will continue to be. So please, I invite you people here to come to Studio A, and you're welcome to. The invite is always extended to anyone out there in cyberspace, and I don't care who you are. You can look like a tramp or a bum or whatever the situation may be. Maybe that'll better explain or get your information out regarding all of these empty promises that were extended to you as human beings. And I just want you to know that me as a Negro, colored, black, African American, I've been through it all, dealing with people making empty promises and empty commitments and anything that when people want to do their worst to try and make your life miserable or try to make my life miserable. I just like a grain of sand or like a shake it off like water off a duck's back, something like that. So pay attention, but understand every day in your life is a need to continue to better yourself and improve yourself. They spend all this money. When you look at these movies talking about when they're talking about movies like the Forensic Files, and I look at that all the time. They're steady putting people in prison. Now they're giving people life sentences for murdering women and killing people and doing all kind of stuff. It looks like a comedy show. That's what it looks like. But they're telling truths about all the evil, wicked, nefarious things that are taking place. People are being murdered and killed, and policemen are following up on these cases, and it takes years to bring a person to justice. 20 and 15 and 20 years and 10 years and months and weeks and whatever deal. And when people use the Forensic Files, they're saying, well, we're going to bring people to justice, and that's the route we're going. So what nowadays is trying to just bring people to justice and just maybe get you for breaking in the house and killing or injuring people and robbing them or doing whatever people do, evil things, and then they give you a lot of time or take your life or put you in prison for the rest of your life. We got Trump, Clinton. He's a three strikes you out clown, and his wife Hillary Clinton never did become president. And Donald Trump, he's a clown. He's president, but he's just wagging his tongue and talking out the side of his neck, and being embarrassment for the United States of America and for himself too. But in his mind or in his head, it all makes sense before it comes out of his mouth, and while it's rolling around in his head and his mouth. But the end result is like I'm saying, wow, we got a bunch of zip damn fools trying to direct the country to go in different directions. And we've had George Bush, and he was the time when the Trade Center was blown up and all those people were killed and all those evil things took place, and 200 people have jumping out of the Twin Towers and jumping to their deaths, and people are treating it like, well, that's a day in a life. They treat it like it's something to be dismissed or ignored. But this is reality, what happens to human beings. People's lives are lost, and people spend major money to try and trick, con, and fool people. And when I was doing a lot of different shows, I would show you people things that you need to pay attention to and better understand, and understand that when you just buying information at face value out of people's mouths, there's many people that are trying to tell you everything that's right, and then you got people that's trying to cajole you or con you or trick you or put you in some state of amazement in believing all of these cons and lies that are put before you. But it's very important that you yourself understand when you're being lied to and tricked, and you can tell because every day that passes is a day that you can't get back. So whoever's lying to you and telling you all these make believe stories and take you to dreamland and all this other stuff, believe me, that's what's going on. So trust God Almighty and trust your judgment and be a better person. And all these people that are in prison because of drugs and alcohol and smoking cigarettes and doing all kind of prescription drugs and things of this nature, people are just steady dying, dropping like flies. And you have people that using narcotics. There have been millions of people are dying because of the misuse of drugs, and they're trying to blame Negro, colored, black, African Americans, saying they're out there just killing people, going out there doing horrible things. And then when you look around, we're only about 6.5% of the people, but try and give us credit for like we're the founders and the inventors and the creators of all this abuse and misuse. But we had different presidents, and I talk about the Bush family because they're the ones that brought drugs in this country, and other people that use planes to bring drugs in the country and do horrible, despicable things to people. And everybody looks straight face and treat it like that's just a day in a life, and don't worry about it, and don't take it serious. But millions of people now, because it was so busy trying to point the finger away from themselves, you got tons of people that are dying and dropping like flies because of the abuse of drugs or drug abuse. And when you look at movies on television or look at very serious shows, like I said, the Forensic Files and things like that, you'll always hear people talking about they're killers, the murderers. And you'd be like, wow, these people are just killing just to be killing. And then they're going to court and saying, oh, I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. And the judge gives them a life sentence, and then sometimes he give them death. But most people are, especially Negro, colored, black, African Americans, they're like, well, we don't really try to promote death or electrocute people or do things of this thing of things of this nature. But the thing about it is that people go to that be guaranteeing jobs that are paying grand theft money, because there's always going to be jobs. Because when people are put in prison for the rest of their life, you're going to always have people getting paid for the rest of their life, because they're going to be the officers or the police officers going to have a job to make sure these prisoners are watched, or people that are incarcerated are watched. So I'm really praying that one day people are going to realize that these people are sick, and I don't care if you Negro, colored, black, African American, or white, or human beings, or whatever the case may be. People are sick, and the drugs is what destroys them, and they'll tell you the truth about, I'm hooked on narcotics and I'm doing these different things, committing these crimes, committing these heinous crimes, and women are committing heinous crimes and doing evil things and trading themselves as hookers and hoes and whatever they allowing themselves to be labeled as, and street light walkers and all that whatever the case may be. And I just want you people out there to understand that this is real reality. And prayerfully, these people's lives have turned around. And there was sometimes people reach the end of their wits, and they come to their good senses that this has got to stop because I didn't betray my family and everybody that I love, and people are tired of me. No one wants to deal with me or trust me or anything. They won't allow me in their homes or on their property or things of this nature because they see me coming. They'll take it for granted that I'm in it to victimize them or whatever the case may be. And so you'll learn that as time goes on, people get smarter and wiser to want to turn their lives around. But how society has done human beings, because America has treated all this bad stuff like instead of getting them help from doctors or putting them places where they need help and can get made a better person, they did nothing but saying, well, we'll make sure that all the drugs are put in the Negro, colored, black community, and make sure they got plenty of guns killing themselves or whoever, or put it in a position where they can murder or gun people down. Just want to willfully wipe people out and do horrible things to them. And so I just want you people to understand that this is real reality that is going on in their lives and in your lives to this day. So when you look around and you look at all these different races, this country is like, wow. You got all these leaders. John Belushi done himself wrong, but then was like, I'm brainstorming. I got a creative mind. Through drugs, I can create a lot of things. But next thing you know, you done died early in your lives, and many people have died like that, and wonderful people have died because they don't know their limits, and they can't shut down, or they can't control that bad behavior or that abuse or misuse of their bodies. So I want you to understand that just don't try to be a part of going fast or living in the fast life or living in the fast lane or all these evil, wicked things, because that's what's horrible for you. Get you better jobs, create better jobs, create great jobs for yourselves, and do great things for yourselves. As Negro, colored, African Americans, you look at like, well, I want to get a job, but you just can't function with the abuse of yourself and thinking that you're being wise or intelligent, because you're basically just disintegrating right before your very eyes and right before your friends' eyes or people that you love or that you think love you. And when people get standoffish from you, that's because you've abused and misused yourself, and you're working yourself into an early grave, and that's what's going on. So when you see people are killed or at a young age, and very gorgeous or very handsome people that have destroyed themselves, because that's how it goes. Satan to kill, steal, destroy, the author confuse, and father will lie. So pay attention to that, and pay attention to yourself. As you got a good mind, then benefit from the good mind that you have, and reap the benefits from whatever you can offer yourself or anyone else, which with goodness from your blessed heart. So those are the things that I'm talking about. I know a lot of people that's sitting around and just drinking whatever alcoholic beverages that they can wrap their lips around. That's what they're going for, and they're not feeling bad about it, and they're smoking drugs or of various types, or doing things that is detrimental to their interior body. But down the road, they don't realize it until someone brings it to their attention, or they come to the realization themselves to all the destruction that they've done onto themselves. But if you want to be easily victimized or taken advantage of, well, you find yourself going to clubs and drinking up all the free liquor you can wrap your lips around, or smoking all the dope that you can huff and puff, and it's taken to your system and destroy yourself. So I'm just saying, there's things that you can do that are really horrible and hideous for you, but you have to be your own best judge, or the better judge of your own destination or your own destiny. So you were a child, and then once you become a grown up, you find yourself trying to do all these wild things as if you just, wow, I just can't wait to do this, that, and the other. But it's horrible because you can't wait, and what damage you are imposing on yourself, there's other people just equally as eager to impose that damage on you. So when people are giving you all these free drugs or making things that are detrimental to you available to you, is this is a sample to get you started to become a cripple for anything that's destructive for you, and that's what I want you to pay attention to. So pay attention and be strong and be focused and be honest, and that's what life is all about. This studio will be closed from the 3rd through the 9th, and then my show will be open back up on the 16th. After today, I'll be back on the 16th, and I'll pray that maybe the mayor or whoever will come and speak, and Brother Broussard will show up and have some very interesting questions to present to people. That's what's so very important, because many Negro, colored, Black, African Americans, this is 2017, and we still haven't moved forward yet. We're still hoping to move forward, but when you're not coming on the show to air your thoughts or feelings, then that wraps you right up, because you're nowhere to be found, and there's nothing to talk about. There's no one to blame or to accuse. I've had a party get a hold of me and wanted to let me know, oh, I wanted to donate $500 to you. I'm looking like, people say all these different kind of things to me, and I just don't even worry about it, because it's fine. It would be nice if they would help out or contribute to PoFolk Community for Justice, but if they help, fine. If you don't help, fine. Who cares? Because life goes on, and if you got to help from your heart or do anything that's heartfelt, then you'll do that, and you won't make it so difficult. You won't have to try and tell me you're having a hard time finding this place, because if anything, just go jump in a police car and they'll bring you down to this place here, and you can come and be on the air and communicate whatever you need to communicate to people out there in cyberspace. So it's very important. So the very people that you're running from maybe should be running to get you here. If you can't get here by a police car, get in a cab or whatever, or get on a bus, or you know the address to this place. Come to this building here, Studio A. This is where I'm at every Sunday. I've been doing this stuff for 7 years, and I just want to let you people know I got a wonderful crew, a staff. We got Brother Tom Hopkins, we got Brother Ron Dorn, and Sister Ellie. She isn't here now because she's out of the country with her mom and stuff, but we got lots of people. Brother Steve is out of the state because he's taking care of some business and helping, doing a lot of wonderful things. And I just really would love you people to come forward, and if anything, become producers. Do your own show. Do it in different studios or do it at different times, but do it. If you got something that you want to air or voice, then get your voice out there. And I would enjoy listening to you people out there in cyberspace to come on television, or when I'm home, I have my own television and different things. I'd be happy to look at your show if it's a good show, or you're informational, or got good information, because you're just bringing more insight to me and to other people out there in cyberspace, and that's what's so important. So that's what I'm saying to you, and I will look forward to getting here with Brother Bruce Broussard and see him in the near future. He didn't show up today, but get with him in the future, and maybe he can tell me some more about other people that are famous people that he helped put on his show and brought other people to his show, and great things like that. And I would love to have you wonderful people on this show and to speak your heart and talk about things that benefit human beings, period. So when I'm telling you about Donald Trump or Trump, he's got people that he's trying to, as the president, trying to say, well, we're going to bring jobs to America and all that good stuff. Well, everybody's going south of the border now, and all the things he's made, all these empty promises, those things have fell down around the wayside. And so now he's looking like a zip damn fool as usual, because he's saying things and it's biting him in his behind, because he's letting his mouth overload his behind, and that's what he's doing. And then he's trying to blame Obama for things like the Russians trying to act like they're doing horrible things. Well, you can't blame Obama. He's already been president for 8 years. You're just starting out as president. Why don't you go talk to the Russians and make your plea? Because when Obama made certain indications of what is going on or what's really going on, for Hillary Clinton, for people to be well aware of what's going down, nobody, you can hear a rat piss on cotton. But when it comes to the reality story, Donald Trump ain't trying to talk to nobody. He's gonna be quiet as a church mouse, but he's always pointing a finger away from himself, just like he's trying to do with the F.B.I. He's trying to fire him and then trying to look straight faced like, well, that's what I do. I'm divide and conquer. That's where he's coming from, and that's the kind of president he is. So when people hear all these empty promises, all these empty conversations, I done heard those conversations from all kind of presidents, the Vietnam War, all these different wars that people fought bravely and got their lives destroyed or limbs missing or persons in their family killed. So it's just like, it's easy to send people on a mission, because it's like, I got all these people out here and they love this country and they'll sacrifice their lives for this country. But it's not trying to just treat them like a old pair of shoes, human beings. They're human beings. These women can have babies and these men can have babies and produce and do great things, but we're so busy trying to let people know that we're just ready for anything, when it's really all about trying to take advantage of people, trying to have things that they want. And people, when they're trying to trick you or con you, you need to look at the bigger picture, and that's what I'm speaking to you about. Pay attention to when Donald Trump is running his mouth. Hear his statement. I know when he made the statement about he has like a son-in-law that wants to do more grapes, and all of a sudden we like everybody. We wish they can come and bring some pickers from Mexico to help him get that grape harvest working. And his daughter is saying, well, she's trying to get her clothing line together. And we're saying, well, these American jobs, they can just stay here in this country and sell things cheaper or for less money and do that. But they don't think like that. We want to go somewhere to another country and get people to work for pennies on the dollar and help further our cause financially. And those are kind of terrible, horrible things that people do. So pay attention, but let's say we all need to work together as human beings and try and better our lives and make other people's lives better. Every human being, make every human being's life better. And when I was hoping this mayor would have come to this show, I would have wanted to ask him about, with all this $400 million, what are we gonna do? Bruce, I was gonna ask you about District 18. I live in North Portland. I don't know exactly what district it is, but it's by Unthink Park. And I've been around over 40 years. And what money are you going to make available to me or people like me, Negro, colored, black, African American, to protect our homes, to help our property, to strengthen our property, to strengthen our land? What can we do? Because we know there's going to be some kind of way. There's going to be some forgiveness program, because everybody's been reaping the harvest from all the forgiveness programs. So if you got any kind of forgiveness program, I want to take advantage of that as well. And that would be the question I would be asked. Look, if we got all this money, what can we do to benefit us as human beings or as a people, as opposed to just moving us all the way out to Gresham and putting us in positions where we're paying that high tail rent and not in a position to smoke on the property. Not that I'm promoting smoking, but people let you know, well, that because it's a federal involves the federal programs, they're saying people can't smoke inside the houses, or they can lose their apartment, and or their whatever that they do, they can't do anymore. And so people slid all that kind of information in. So a lot of time you're being controlled, abusively controlled by human beings. So I'm just saying, get your life together. I'm happy because I don't drink, smoke, or get loaded or anything like that. So I'm just hoping that all you people can come to your good senses and get your lives together, because that'll be more money for you, more money for your family, and more money for the things that you need and can and to help you earn, to help you take care of and benefit from it, as opposed to taking putting good money out the bad, so you won't have to do that. So it's like a lot of people, like I'm saying, they moved out there way out to Gresham or wherever all they moved, and they lost their parents' homes and everything. And people are saying the mayor's got $400 million. I'm trying to say, what are we going to do with that money? Help me, help myself, help us, help ourselves. That was the kind of question that I would be asking him if he were here today. And those are legitimate questions. And I'd just like to hear out of his mouth of what functions do they have going, and will we be able to reap the benefit. I used to be a general contractor and registered with the state of Oregon and all kind of good stuff. So I'd like to know, well, what can we do? How can you benefit me and all the people that I know, are all the kind of people like me that want to do wonderful things to help people. Everybody gets quiet, mum's the word, when it comes to helping people do great things. So it's just horrible when it comes to us as Negro, colored, Black, African Americans in our lives, that not being able to reap the benefits that are of money that's right there available to everybody. We can go find a bunch of Negro, colored, Black, African Americans, and they get these jobs, and then they lose sight of what's going on. So they just going along to get along. But it's sad about that is that if you're a professional and bring people aboard to help people and advance themselves, advance human beings, and that's what it's really all about. And so when you get these jobs and these contracts awarded to you, where all the Negro, colored, Black, African Americans that could be working these jobs and making them these great contractors like yourselves, and then hopefully get them crews and people branch out and just do great things, because that's what's so important. And that's when I was helping people to better themselves or make their lives better. That's what it's really all about, and that's what my show is all about. PoFolk Community Need for Justice, and PoFolk Construction, or PoFolk all in anything. PoFolk Your Magazine, PoFolk. I got a lot of different organizations of mine that I greatly respect and help a lot of people in a position to move people forward. So I could tell you, people, go down to Salem, get yourself registered as a business person, and all you people that used to have good jobs where you have money and then you lost those jobs or whatever the case, you can get yourself a business title and then get yourself a better job, and then in your business create money, and make, not just making yourself money but other people money. So that's very important. So I just want to let you people know it's easy to do, but you'll have people fighting you tooth and nail, because that's what life is all about. People are resisting, looking straight faced, and playing with both hands, trying to play with both hands behind your back. So that's what it's all about. So but don't do that, and play with your cards on the table, expose what you're trying to get exposed to people, and let them know this is the things that I'm trying to accomplish, these are the things that I'm trying to make happen, and then eventually you find other people that help you continue to move forward and make things happen. My show, like I said, has been on for 7 years, and I got wonderful people that come and volunteer their time to help me move forward, and they'll help you move forward, and I'll help you move forward. It's just that's what it's all about. So stay strong, stay focused, stay blessed. That's what life is all about, and that's what I'm all about. So I have cars, and I don't really drive no more, but I own several cars, and I never got rid of them. But I'll give them to my kids or whatever, or my grandchildren or whatever the case. One of my sons gave one of his cars to his grandson, or to his nephew, and that was great and very kind of him. And there's vehicles that I have that they run great and they work just fine. I just don't drive, and that's how it goes for right now. And that's where I'm coming from. But they're very dependable and reliable. But they need to have someone behind the wheel that would enjoy them and treat them like very decent vehicles, and from point A to point B, and not be so crazy about, well, I need something brand spanking new. You can always think like that, but if you treat your car with tender love and care and continue to get from point A to point B, and continue to do great things will come to you, and great things happen for you. So that's what life is all about. So that's what I'm saying to you out there in cyberspace. And that makes it anyone. I don't care what your race is. Just do well and play to win. And I don't care what color you are or what race or background you're from. Just do well and do what's right and do what's just, and continue to inch by inch. Life is a cinch, yard by yard. Life is hard. So just keep inching your way to the victory. And that's what life is all about for me. I'm just inching my way to the victory. So I don't have to make no big major moves. I just have to continue to keep on moving for the betterment, not only for myself, but for you and everyone else. And that's what life is all about. And so when I invite people on my show, I'm saying, please come on. The invitation is automatic. It's wide open for you to come and be on PoFolk Community for Justice. But bring a message with you. One gentleman that came in at one point in his life, he came and he brought all his children with him, and he had a child who was mentally disabled, but he was a wonderful young man. I used to let him walk around the show, and he loved to touch different things around here, like the cameras and stuff like that. And I felt, well, he's a good young man. He's just wanting to know what's going on. And I didn't make no big thing about it, no more than I would make a big thing about anything else. And he never tore up nothing. And then their dad died, and he was going after this system about they weren't giving him his money, and or the funds that he should be given to raise his children. They weren't trying to make him allow him to be responsible for his sons and daughters. And eventually he died, and I don't know what he died from, or for what reason he died, or what happened. But those are the things that go with life, is that one day we're here and then the next day we're not. So illness comes in many forms, and so understand tomorrow is not promised to no one. So try and live life to the fullest, because tomorrow is not promised to no one. When the Lord comes to get you, you're gone, and you're off the planet. You'll be walking in faith and believing that it's going to get greater later. But don't just waste your time believing that it's going to get greater later. Make it greater later by just putting your life into whatever's going to benefit yourselves, so that your children can pattern behind you, or people that love you or respect you can pattern behind you. So that's what it's all about. So I'm trying to think about some more things I want to say to you people out there in cyberspace. And my show is our show, and there's just a lot of good information I want to share with you people on it. Brother Ron, what were you saying about Donald Trump there were things we were talking about in the back room, and I just want to share that with you people out there in cyberspace. And if I had my guests here, they could maybe speak on different matters or subject matters that are very interesting or truth bearing. So, can you hear me back there, Brother Ron?
Yes, I can, but I can't recall what it was. It was
Okay. Yeah, you were saying about Donald Trump or something like that, I believe. So, because I believe the
well, I consider him more of a dictator than a leader.
Okay, well that's great. I'm glad you said that. So that was a message from Brother Ron, and that's how he sees Donald Trump. So a lot of you people may have your own views, but Brother Ron just shared his view with all you people out there in cyberspace regarding Donald Trump, and I would love to bring some more issues to you. But again, when I'm looking at those shows from Forensic Files, it's just very important that you people look at those movies because they're telling the truth and they're talking about facts, and they're talking about that they're bringing people to justice and just footprints, anything that they can find, little trees, and finding people that can put them in prison for the rest of their lives based on a spruce tree or off some little things like that. And I used the term a spruce tree, but it was some kind of plants that were found, and some criminals were brought to justice. So it's very important that people can be brought to justice for any and everything. And so more people are going to be more aware of why you're going to jail or to prison, but not putting yourself in those hectic positions where you can be brought to justice because you did something evil or heinous to someone else, that they can take the needles off trees or whatever the case can be and tell exactly where these trees are from or these different bushes are from. And those bushes grow in certain places and they have their own D.E.A. And so next thing you know, one day you'll be going to jail or to prison for having done something silly or stupid or ignorant because you just think you're flying like that or you're rolling like that, especially if you're committing crimes or doing worldly things. So don't get yourself stumped out because you think that you can do whatever you want to do. I was looking at a picture where a young lady about 16 years old, she killed her mom and dad because she got a guy that's from another country and she liked him and she wanted to be with him, and he made it because he turned state's evidence against her because he letting the prosecution know that I didn't provoke her to want to kill her mom and dad or do anything silly like that. Now she's on her way to prison. She's thinking I'll kill my parents and I'll become wealthy. And I'll have a great, big, beautiful home to live in and do all kind of whatever we want to do. And all she was doing, her young behind was on her way to prison. They tried her as an adult. She was 16 years old, and she's being tried as an adult to go and now her life was destroyed. So there's just all kind of wonderful things that you can learn from just looking at television. Some people train you not to look at TV. When you finally look at TV, you're in jail or under jail looking at TV. So I'm just saying, pay attention and very with a very blessed mind, pay attention and try and do great things and focus on what's going on in life and know what you want in life and what you want to do in life and do what's good, not only just for yourself but for other people, because a kind, loving heart is a kind, loving heart. And even when you're folding your heart out and doing great things for other people, it's a way of that when you're doing great things for people, that it's reciprocal. So don't just keep giving and giving and giving and then become angry because you feel like you're not getting your fair share. But give from your heart and know that that people should reciprocate with the kind of kindness that you extended to them. They should extend that to you as well. So it's not just a one-way street. It's a reciprocal street, and we all can reap the benefit from it. So there's a lot of things that I watch things all the time, and when you're dealing with people, people get very ignorant and very shady and very difficult, but they'll come to you like they truly mean you well, and they're just waiting for you to blink or not be paying attention. And next thing you know, you're out of business, or you're hurt or injured or killed or whatever the case may be. So I'm just saying, put God Almighty first and trust God Almighty to help you play the win and to move forward, because that's what it's really all about. And then when I speak about Donald Trump, is many people share the same view that I share regarding Donald Trump, because his mouth runs like a faucet, and that's how it goes. But he's just telling you things that you want to hear and that you're hearing. And then, like I said, down the road, you didn't get all the things that Donald Trump promised or obligated himself to do. He tweeting things to you, and that's what he do. He sits back and tweet, and that's what he does. And so whatever brain fart he has, that's the gas that'll be passing for you. And you can either plug up your nose or hold your breath or whatever you want to do. But understand, if he's tweeting truthful things or honest things to you, then you'll know down the road. Because when people are lying to me, I'm saying I'm somewhat of a BSer myself, but sometimes it's nice to listen to a real professional. So please carry on. So that's what happens when you're dealing with people like Donald Trump. You know that he's talking a lot of BS or bad, reporting bad services to you out of his mouth, and it's no secret to no one. It's just that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so that's what's happening. So my heart goes out to all you people out there on Medicare that believes that Trump was trying to make a better way for you, but he's not doing so. And a lot of people are thinking, well, he's just running for president and he'll be just doing 4 years. He's already talking about being president for 8 years, and if he could go longer, he would go try and go longer. But it's just that those are the issues that he raised and all the promises that he made. I watched his show one time, and he was talking about Negro colored black African Americans, and he was talking about law and order and the way people do things, and he just running his mouth and talking about people kicking the lines out of people's drawers. He didn't say those words. I'm saying those words, but he was talking about that's the way it go. And black people was being beat up, slapped around, and beat down, and he was rallying behind all this abuse and misuse of Negro-colored black African Americans. I'm just saying, right now, this very day, you have to play to win and to move forward. And many people just talk in general or talk in riddles or things of this nature, but try and do things, get you a foothold in life, and try and accomplish great things, and quit using drugs or being a victim of drugs or anything of this nature. Take advantage of life, full advantage of life, and that's the things that I'm speaking about, and help all human beings to become better people, because society is treating young women like property, just treating them like if you want to get out there and shake your behind and do things and throw down force or do whatever, work at this gentleman's club or whatever you want to do, we're all for it, and we'll throw you a few bucks, and we'll treat you with respect to this nature. And some people spend thousands and thousands of dollars because these women are just playing to win and looking straight face, but they know that they're being treated like trash, but they aren't suffering the circumstances of being treated like trash. It's just that when she she or gets in the situation where he gets an opportunity to do hurt her or to try and get her to sway in his direction, he'll try and play his best hand and then let something evil come to mind and then treat you like you just getting what you deserve because you done played me out of pocket and tricked me out of all my money, con me for thousands or millions of dollars, and now you don't deserve to be on the planet. So your life is over with, and they'll stab you to death or whatever they need to beat you to death with or will hit you in the head with a hatchet or an axe or whatever the case may be, and it's just that it's like you reap what you sow. So people need to pay attention that when they're doing things with people, there's all for every action there's a reaction. So pay attention to everything because many people treat you like it's okay. I'm not worried about it, but up the street and around the corner, when no one's looking, they'll show you what they're really about in many cases and treat you how they feel you should be treated when there's nobody looking, and get you so relaxed or get your spirit so so relaxed that down the road you become a victim to yourself, victimize your own self because you went for the okie doke, you went for the con. So pay attention and don't be drawn into these trickeration type games. That's what it's really all about. Well, people think, well, she'll go to heaven, but that's just people saying those things because they like to share nice, kind words with you. But you going to hell would be just as quickly, will you be more quickly received going to hell or to heaven? It doesn't make any difference because whatever the case may be, you're still dead or in your grave or on the roadside somewhere, disassembled or taken apart or whatever was done to you and whoever did whatever they did to you. So quit treating life like that you got everything under control. God Almighty runs everything. Let that be and let that take place. So be strong, be focused, and be strong, and that's what I'm telling all you people out there in cyberspace, because it's so very important to communicate that message to you. I think a lot of people would think, well, I sure would be nice if he would read us some scriptures or we could read the Bible and stuff like that, but you can read your own Bible. There are many of you people read Bible page after page, and then you still go lay up with whoever and do whatever you want to do. And know that Satan has got you by the short hairs, got you on clown status. So understand what's going on with you in your life. And you still got boyfriends and girlfriends and women being in love with women and men being in love with men. And so you got a long ways to go turning your life around for the better. So quit turning against yourself or turning yourself inside out, but be true to yourself and be with reality and trust reality, because horrible things are happening right now this very day, and don't just let yourself be a victim to what's going on every day. Just don't. And love your family and love your children. I know when I was speaking about Happy Father's Day and I made reference to a lot of men that never got married, and so they have a little bunch of bastard sons and daughters and things of this nature, but I was still saying Happy Father's Day to them. I just would be better served if they were one day to settle down and get married instead of treating themselves like they're weak individuals. And I just can't make up my mind on what woman I want to be with or who to choose. These are just worldly, fleshly games that people play. So I'm just saying, be strong and be focused. And if you're being with a woman, and if she chooses to be with you, and if you guys get together, have a child, or whatever the case may be, hopefully you get married. Marriages, many times people will get married and they'll think their marriages will last forever. Some marriages don't really last that long. Some people have been married twice before, 3 or 4 times, and things of nature are 6 or 7 times. I don't know, but when people get married, you're committing yourself. And I know a lot of time people look at saying, well, what if the marriage don't work? Well, you try to make it work, and you try and make everything better for the good of everyone. But if it doesn't last, or for whatever reason people trying to get you to compromise your marriage and play all these foolish games, then you're going to shut it down. But hopefully one day you'll marry Mrs. Right or Mr. Right, and that's where you're working toward. So don't be trying to make a dead marriage work. Do what's right and just for you and your spouse or whoever you're with. Oh, 5 minutes. Thank you very, brother Ron. Thank you very much. Ron, did you have anything to say? You're welcome to come on the show and say some things if you want to.
No,
Okay.
I
All
have
right.
anything to say today.
Okay. Well, you know you're always welcome, brother. Okay. So that's what I'm saying to you people. So that's what I was saying. So when you people get married, then marry. And if the marriage lasts, fine. If it don't last, that's fine too. I'm not trying to promote a fly-by-night weddings, but I was dealing with a wedding time when it was performed here on my show. And I hope people stay married forever, but sometimes people come on the show, and I asked one preacher, would he like to perform the wedding? He said, oh no, I would have to get together with her and have a meeting with her and a meeting with him and make some long discussions and things of this nature. And some people just ain't with all that. And I'm just saying, well, that's how it goes. But if people want to be married, let them marry. And I want them to be married. And if they want to come on the show and be married or to get married, here's a big studio if you want to get married in it and bring people and be happy to perform a wedding for you. And I pray the best for you and her, or her and her, or him and him. It doesn't make me any difference. I'm just saying people should get married and can get married. And when people are always resisting, talking about, well, they got 2% of homosexuals doing all this, and the gays doing that, and they got a heterosexual getting married, and they're breaking up just as much as everybody else. So I'm just saying that do what's right in your heart, and then hopefully try and see something materialize from you having got together. And a lot of people will tell you, well, I read tons of scriptures. I got scriptures about how y'all going to hell, y'all burn in hell and all that. Tons of people will say that, and tons of people will speak from their heart regarding these various scriptures and different Bibles, and they promote fear, hatred. But when Hitler was killing people and doing all kind of evil stuff, people that get quiet and shut their mouth and turn their backs to it, or don't say nothing to try and make life better, and so they're burying people in all these mass graves and putting people, taking all the oxygen out of there, putting them in these vaults, taking all the oxygen out of the vaults, and people are suffocating and all that. All these horrible stuff is around us. But if you can find someone that you love and care about, then do that. They got people in Washington, D.C. They talk about, they got more people that are probably in Washington, D.C. that are gay than they have in San Francisco that are gay, or whatever the titles that may be attributed to them. But when people say, well, George Bush, yeah, we're not going along with, because marriage is for a man and a woman. And then 2 gay people were raising children, and then people try to make that seem like it's dirty and wrong. But I'm just saying that there's laws against abuse and misuse of human beings. And if you're brought to justice, you'll be brought to justice based on your behavior and your actions. And there's all kind of laws to all kind of actions. So I'm just saying to you people out there in cyberspace and everywhere, look, do what's right in God Almighty's eyes, and do what's just in God Almighty's eyes. When I was growing up, I saw people that were lesbians that were living together and staying together and bedding together for years and years. I wasn't mad at them. They were very kind, wonderful people. But it's just the fact they're human beings. And when I see people, I just respect people and respect them for who they are, and hopefully not try and invite me into their lifestyle or web of behaviors. And so that's all I be concerned with when I'm dealing with people. I'm not trying to be a part of that, and that's just the way it is. When I would go visit my friends, and they be smoking dope and getting high, and they be trying to get me to smoke dope, and I'm saying I don't roll like that, and so that's where I'm coming from.